Good evening. Welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Hamlet City Council. We're glad to see everyone here tonight. We've got an exciting night. We've got new council members coming on board, and we will call the meeting to order and begin with our invocation. And
may we pray. Our Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day, and we give you thanks for this time of year, this season of light. As we gather tonight, we pray your blessings upon this meeting. We thank you for the city of Hamlet and for the beacon of light we have an opportunity to be to those around us. Thank you for those who have devoted themselves to serving the people. I ask, Lord, that you give them wisdom and integrity and guidance in all they do. We thank you for the time and the devotion that they give. We ask, Lord, that as we reflect upon this season of light, that you would help us to be your light bearers in the community and beyond. Bless this hour, and bless once again all those who serve so faithfully. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Reverend Farrell, thank you for coming tonight. We graciously appreciate that. Council, you have before you tonight the agenda for the meeting, and I would ask for your approval on the agenda.
So moved. Approve the agenda.
I believe that there was an item number 15A that needs to be put on here for tonight that deals with
Do you need another motion?
Yes, I do. No, I have to clear this first motion. I got a motion and a second. Is there further information? If there is, I'd ask that Christmas bonus be put on here as item 15A. Whoever approves
So
it.
moved. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
do the same thing.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of the agenda with the addition of 15A, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed likewise. Thank you. You also have before you tonight the minutes from the November 12th, 2019 regular meeting. What are your wishes on that at this time? Have a motion from Councilman Stewart.
Second.
Second from Councilman McQueen. Is there any further changes, additions, or deletions to those minutes? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. At this time, we come to our comments from attendees. If there's anyone here tonight who wishes to make, excuse me, if there's anyone here tonight that wishes to make comments about anything that's not on the agenda for tonight, please come forward at this time. Okay, at this time, we'll close the comments from attendees. Item number 6, audit report from Mr. Ken Anderson. I hadn't seen
Mr. Anderson advised earlier he may be running a little late, so if it's okay with council, we'll just proceed, and when he shows up, we will go back to that.
If we can fit him in, that would be fine.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll go on. At this time, we're going to move to reorganization of the board, item number 7, and we'll turn it over to the city clerk.
Test.
Look at you.
Let's go. Okay. I, Bill Bayless,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
and maintain
and maintain the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina to the best of my ability as mayor, so help me God.
I, Terry G. Moore, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and maintain the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina to the best of my ability as a council member, so help me God.
No, sir. No.
Yes, sir.
There'll be a 10-minute recess. We need to speak with Mr. Morphus and the police chief. And we're back in session.
I, Oscar V. Sellers, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and maintain the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Carolina to the best of my ability as a council member, so help me God.
Let's come on up, Mr.
Come
Sellers.
on up here. New council member.
Could I get Councilman?
Sellers? Have a seat right here. That was broke, I think, but I don't need it, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. You got an extra pen somewhere, this thing's broken. No, it's working now. It's working. Okay, thank you.
She can hold her arm up, okay?
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Can we lay it over here?
Look at that, it's,
We can lay it right over here.
get up there, so.
I, Maurice Lee Stewart II,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
and maintain the Constitution
and maintain the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
of the State of North Carolina
of the State of North Carolina
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
as a council member,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Council, I'm going to ask at this time that we put in item 8A on the agenda, and the question is whether or not Mr. Moore needs to have the same nameplate as everybody else up here, and I would ask for a vote on that. I need a motion to approve.
Yeah, I think for the purposes of being uniform and to prevent anything future being an issue on a nameplate that's not the same as the other ones up here, that we be uniform in the nameplates that we use.
Is that
What difference does it make? What difference does it make?
for the uniformity of the court?
What is uniformity, right?
Is there something offensive about this?
Huh?
Is there something offensive
I
about
There
don't,
isn't anything.
I don't even know what it says, but
Citizens of Hamlet, that's who I'm representing.
okay.
I'm sorry, that's not.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not representing.
And you would have a chance to. This is just a
You'll
motion.
have a chance to
You
vote
have a
on
chance to say
that.
that. But
I understand that.
for the future, moving forward, anybody, if we allow something like that to change place for the uniformity, anybody could put anything on there, and that could be
You could vote on that.
not saying
You could vote on
you,
that.
but I just think for the uniformity of the board that it needs to be the city purchase tax.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, it's 3-2. Need to put the, at this time, I would ask for a motion to appoint city clerk.
I so move to appoint the city clerk, Gail McPherson. Gail Strickland, I mean.
Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Okay, appointment of the city attorney, Mr. Morphus.
Make a motion that we appoint Rowe Law Firm, Mr. Morphus, to continue to be the city attorney.
Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Okay, thank you. We need to have an appointment for council representative to the Hamlet ABC Board.
I make a motion that we appoint Maurice Stewart, Councilman Maurice Stewart, to the ABC Board.
Okay, have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion or further appointment? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise.
Mr. Mayor, if we may, can we have an appointment and vote on a mayor pro tem?
We are going to do that.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
I apologize.
And we got by that, and we need to go back to it and had that. Appointment of council representative and alternate to the Lumber River COG. So currently our representative is Mr. Stewart. What are your wishes, council?
Make a motion if he would accept it to appoint Councilman Stewart to continue in that capacity.
I'll second the motion.
I don't. I think that maybe he's got too many irons in the fire on there. Maybe we should have someone else as be an alternate to the representative.
Who would you recommend?
We have a motion and a second.
Yeah.
We can continue discussion and you
okay.
can call for a vote, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise.
Aye.
Okay, good.
That was for Mr. Stewart to be the representative to the Council of Governments.
Right.
And that was
Okay.
4-1, correct?
The vote was 4-1.
I voted
I voted
yes.
for.
I voted nay.
Yeah, I think it's 4-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just an alternate, Mr.
But
Mayor.
now we need to have an alternate to the lumber cog.
Nominate Oscar Sellers.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Sellers, do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, very good. Do you have a problem with that?
I do not.
All right. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Very
I'll
good.
be the alternate.
Let's go back up to item number 8, nomination and appointment of Mayor Pro Tem.
I make a motion that we remain, Jesse McQueen remain as our mayor pro tem, and I'll make a motion that he be appointed for another term.
I make a motion that, for Maury Stewart, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, I got
We
two
already have a
motions
motion on the floor.
I got one.
Well, I nominate Maury
Okay.
Stewart.
Have to wait.
Let's, all right, let's go back to the first nomination, which was for Mr. McQueen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Never
We
got
need a
a
second.
You didn't get
Did
a
I
second.
get-
Didn't get a second.
Y'all gonna slow down a little bit. All right, I've got a motion, I need a second. All right, I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, raise your hands, I need who's voting for that. 1, 2, 3, okay. And all opposed? All right, very good. So it's, all right, we finished now with all the reorganization of the board. Have I got everything included? All right, very good. At this time, we will go back to item number 6, which is the audit report by Mr. Ken Anderson. Mr. Anderson, thank you, sir.
Sorry I was late. I normally hand out a little 2-page summary. I think last year I didn't have these. Do you you guys have these summaries? They do have them? Okay. Last year I don't think we had them, so I made sure this year. Well, regardless, anyway, it's just sort of a summary, sort of a quick summary of where you are with various numbers. Okay, at the very top of the page, we got some fund balance numbers. In the first column, you have the general fund. You have two major funds here, the general fund and the water sewer fund. And you can see the last 6 years, the increase in the general fund, which is good. And the percentage increase up to this year, 47.1%. And the one that really stands out is the water sewer fund. And I think what this points out is last year or so, you had some water rate changes and increased the water fees, and I think they made the fees even more progressive. And I think it really shows up here because you can see that fund balance went up almost $500,000 in the water sewer fund. Below that, we have tax collections, and the excluding vehicle, that's property tax collections, 95.01%. I think I mentioned last year y'all might want to look into some way to improve that a little bit, and I think you're still there. The state average is around 97, 98%, so we probably need a little improvement on that going forward. If you flip over to the next page, this highlights different pages in the report. Page 1, the audit report was an unmodified opinion, and basically what that means, it was a good report. All the information that Jill and the council, the board gave us was good information, and we didn't really have any problems. Page 17, that's the general fund. You can see where the revenues exceeded expenditures, $202,679. That's an increase. Page 19, that's the water sewer fund. There was also an increase there. Revenues exceeding expenditures, $62,390. Page page 48, that's debt. And as you can see, the first category, governmental activities, which is the general fund, that went from 235,000 to 108. So it was a decrease there of 127,000. And my guess is, looking at that next year or this year at some point, you're not going to have any debt in the general fund. The business type activity, water sewer fund, started off with 112,000, had a slight decrease, 5801. No. It went from 112,051 to 5801. So you had a decrease of 106,250. So all debt, the way it looks, is all debt's getting ready to be gone here at the city. So it's good news. No budget over expenditures. The report's been submitted to local government commission. It's been accepted and approved. It's easy to work with Jill. She's been here, 10 years. Wow. I was going to say 6 or 7, but 10 years. And I think she does a very good job for you guys and for the city. The information's in good order when we get it. And that's about all I have. If you have any questions, I'll see if I can answer for you.
No, looks like the city of Hamlet's in good fiscal shape, and we appreciate what you do for us yearly, and just thank you.
Thank you. If you need anything, let me know.
Council, you have before you the dates for the regular meeting. This is item number 13 under new business. Adoption of the 2020 regular meeting schedule. You have that list with you. What are your wishes at this time?
Can you put it on the board? So there's no special meetings or anything on there?
None scheduled.
Okay, yeah, I make a motion, we accept that, continue on the second Tuesday of each month.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I would like to add, I think it would be a good idea in the early part of January, either before or after the meeting, that we have like a mid-year budget. We normally do anyway. I think that would be a good opportunity for the council, the new members and everybody to come and look at some of the things that Mr. Anderson spoke about. I don't know if y'all want to set that date or if you even want to do it, but it would be a good thing to start out the new year with an extra meeting in January. Just my opinion.
Yeah, we do need to, at some point, set a date for that mid-year conference on finances and where we stand as far as the city goes. Had you given any thought to that at all?
I think in years past we have done an afternoon meeting prior to the regularly scheduled
We do,
council meeting.
yeah.
We can shoot for January 14th if council is so agreeable anytime that afternoon, or we can hold a special meeting, whichever you all feel is more agreeable.
January 14th is going to be a little bit tight for me. I'll be coming back from a conference.
Instead of having another meeting, why can't we just meet before the regular stated meeting? Is that what he just said?
That's what he just said. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Just sort of continue into the.
Continue into it, okay.
We'll set that
didn't hear
for 5 p.m. on, everybody good with that, just as a consensus?
Yes.
Yep.
You good with that? Okay. 5 p.m. January the 14th then. Okay, I have a motion and a second on adopting the regular monthly meeting schedule. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Okay, thank you. Council, you have before you the monthly tax releases and refunds. Take a look at them. And the total comes to $516.34. And what are your wishes on that, council?
Make a motion, we approve it.
need a second?
I'll second the motion.
I have a second. Any further discussion on that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Item number 15. Back several years ago, the city, purchased along with some of the people that were doing the Seaboard Festival, and we purchased some decorations to go up on the poles from the Dairy Queen to Raleigh Street. And it did not work out very well. It was not something that was good. So as further years went along, we took those items and placed them up on Main Street in front of the library, and they've done quite well there. But due to some questions from some of our people that live in the city, we need to look at it this year and see what we can do to maybe make that look better and put some type of decorations down through there. And I believe monetarily that we should be able to afford to do that. So, council, I'll see what y'all say. It very well may be different. It's just, it's a matter of just asking the city to look at it and bring something back to us that will work. We know that we can't hang anything over the streets because the poles are so close to the streets that trucks coming along there would knock them down. But there are some other avenues that we've seen in some other cities that should work well, but my question was just to get the city to look at it and see what they can come up with and bring it back to us, and because down through there it's just dark. It's really dark. And this is not something we need to vote on tonight. It's just something we need to direct the city. Sir? Just a proposal? Right. Take a look at it and give us a proposal on what we should do down there. And, of course, we would be more than welcome to listen to what any of our citizens have to say also in looking at it.
Was it there, Mr. Mayor, was it money allotted or budgeted, if I can remember, for Hamlet Avenue, if I had to call it?
Part of that decoration was paid by Seaboard Festival, and the other part of it was paid for by the city. It was kind of was it 50-50 even? Or?
Not quite, Mr. Mayor. It was $2,500.47. The city bought everything, and then the Seaboard Festival reimbursed us for $1,000 after the fact.
Were there any private donations from the citizens of Hamlet? Did any citizens?
None that I'm aware of. No, sir. Mr. Sellers.
With the donation, was there any stipulations on what needed to be done with those decorations?
Yeah, they were supposed to be put on Hamlet Avenue.
It was
Put on
donated with
Hamlet
the spirit
Avenue,
that would
yeah.
be on Hamlet Avenue, but during conversations between then city manager, Mr. Marcus Abernathy, and then president of the Seaboard Festival, Ms. Kim Lindsay, it was specifically said that the Seaboard money for Garland was a donation to purchase with no strings attached. As the mayor said, we tried it for a couple of years. There were lots of complaints levied against how it looked on Hamlet Avenue. So last year, we combined all of that garland into longer strands, put them at the library, put them on City Hall under the theory that this was the thoroughfare for the parade. There was nothing from City Hall to the library, and we really just maximized what we had. I mean, the city maintains it, the city puts it up, the city takes it down. Took a considerable amount of time putting it one strand on each pole on Hamlet Avenue, not very well lit at night. You could not see it. So last year we decided to just combine it all together and put it on light poles at the library and then here at City Hall this year.
But all that is at your discretion, though. I mean, you can put it wherever you wanted to. There's no limitation or no requirement that this goes on Hamlet Avenue.
It was a donation to the city of Hamlet, and I took the position that if something's donated to the city and the city maintains it year-round, puts it up, takes it down, that we could use it as we see fit, specifically since I do have documentation saying that there was no strings attached to this $1,000 that was donated several years ago, 3 years ago, I believe.
Was donated from private citizens?
No, sir. It was donated from the Seaboard Festival.
Seaboard
Committee.
Festival.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But the city of Hamlet put in $1,500. The total cost was $2,500.
That's
The
correct.
Seaboard Festival gives us $1,000. We paid $1,500 for the total cost, and we maintain it. We put it up. We take it down. We store it. Seemed like to me the city would have a right to put it wherever they choose.
Well, to me, here's the issue. The issue is we need to find something that will go over there that can be seen and will look good. And
Yeah, we
this
can do
just
that.
didn't work.
I think what you said is the best bet, just by consensus, just direct the city staff to come up with a plan of, I mean, because you have to purchase something. I mean, that's in
right.
essence what you're
That's
saying is
exactly right.
we're asking you to come up with a plan of something that we could purchase to make that portion of our town look as good as the downtown
That's right.
and the other areas, and even on down into the far end of Hamlet Avenue. I mean, that's just as important as any other place.
That's right.
You know, it can't be anything that goes across the street
Right.
because DOT won't allow that. So it's going to have to be something on the poles or something like that. But you got plenty of time. I mean, we won't need to really know anything about it until the budget meeting in March, April.
That's right.
So I don't see anything wrong with that.
We can appropriate the money at that time. We'll come up with it, and we'll look at it. I'll look at it along with the manager and see what we can come up with.
For consensus, though, I mean, everybody
Just
would need to
consensus
agree.
is all we need.
Yeah.
Let them do that.
Mr. Moore? Okay, good, thank you. Thank you so much. Item number 15A, in looking at the budget, we hadn't this year appropriated any Christmas bonus for our employees who have done an outstanding job this year. And so we have it on the agenda at this time under 15A to approve some type of Christmas bonus for our employees. What are your wishes, council?
So I'd like to, see us, I value our city employees. We definitely want to retain our city employees and just show them all sorts of gratitude. We have so many different areas, water, sewer, street cleaning, you name it, trash. Our city employees are top-notch, phenomenal. They're the real MVPs. I would love to see them get some type of appreciation for a Christmas bonus.
What kind of money are we looking at?
What did we give last year?
Believe that we did 200 for full-time employees and 100 for part-time employees.
And that's an appreciation. We're not talking about a huge bonus, just an appreciation to say thank you. and I think that's more than fair. 200 for full-time and $100 for part-time employees.
How much money did it cost the city last year to give a bonus?
With those numbers, Mr. Sellers, we're looking at approximately $20,000 to $25,000.
$20,000 to $25,000
Yes,
cost
sir.
the city and the taxpayers.
Correct. With 200 for each full-time employee, we have roughly 91 full-time employees, and then roughly 10 part-time employees. So with those numbers, it would be in that ballpark.
But the Christmas bonuses aren't in the budget.
No, sir, we did not budget
You
for
not
Christmas bonus.
when you had the budget meeting, you didn't budget any kind of money for the
No, sir.
Christmas bonus. Okay.
Well, I'll just echo what Maurice said, especially this year. I mean, you think about what the city employees have done, especially with some of these special projects. I mean, he's had people from the shop that normally work on vehicles and things like that, toting rocks at the city lake, and every department is chipped in other areas, and I would really think that would be a good gesture on our part. The budget is in fabulous shape. I would probably go so far as to say there's not many cities our size that has the budget situation that we have right now. I look at that as in my opinion, a value to us and a tool to keep our employees doing what they're doing.
I think that I'm not against a bonus, but since it was not in the budget, and since the city didn't budget it when they had their I don't think it would be a good idea to spend that kind of money and give that money for that. I think the next budget meeting it should be included in the budget, but it is time to come up and say we're going to add it on at a meeting. I disagree with that.
Is this the same way we did it last year?
Basically, it's been, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it was that way last year, and I think it was that way the year before.
Yes.
this way. And the reason that we did it in that manner is to see where we're at. December is like it's like a halfway point for our budget. And if we're not in a situation to be able to do anything, then, you know, we took the stance where we just wouldn't do it. And, I mean,
Yeah, but the fact remains is it wasn't budgeted in the city budget. And it came up and it's come up and we're wildcatted in there. I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think it's so good a good decision to spend that kind of money.
Now, let me ask the city manager, can the city absorb that, the cost of a bonus that we're talking about? Is that gonna break the bank?
Right. Well, as the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem McQueen said, last year we did not budget for Christmas bonuses, and the year prior to that we did not budget. Mr. Anderson comes in December. We look at where we are with the audit. We see if we can sustain a Christmas bonus. Over the last 2 years that I've been here, this is the pattern of which we've followed. This is the course of action of which we've done. We've looked and see, and the last 2 years, council has decided that we could sustain it. I would point to the findings of the audit that Mr. Anderson pointed out tonight. We added money back to both funds. In the enterprise and the general fund, we are in a very healthy financial position with the city of Hamlet. When you look at $20,000 to $25,000 out of a $8.5, $8.7 million budget, just to point blank answer your question, Mr. Martin, no, that would not break the bank. That type of expenditure in a budget this large really would not make or break the city's financial state, particularly given how strong of a financial position Mr. Anderson has advised that we are in.
What line item does it come out of?
Out of employee benefit, Christmas bonus, we would add it in there.
So you create a separate line item for it?
Did we? Right. It would come straight from employee benefit salary line item. We would just do a budget amendment to up that salary line item. Right, for each department, the salary.
Cause you to go over budget or anything in any particular area?
As Mr. Sellers said, and as we discussed, it's not budgeted for, so we would have to do a budget amendment to come back to council. Typically, the last 2 years, council's given consensus. We've issued the Christmas bonus, and then when we do quarterly budget amendments, it comes back for tidying up at that time.
and a lot of that money comes from vacant positions that
Right.
are not being filled. Like, I know you've dealt with that before, and that money is there. That hasn't been spent. So although it's not been budgeted, some of these folks in some of these departments, and just the police chief's department out there, I mean, you got a couple openings now, so some of his guys having to pick up the slack and do some more. So that budgeted money that was budgeted for those number of employees, they're not there, so that money is there.
I think we've kind of got Mr. Sellers and Mr. Moore at a disadvantage in that several times during the years we come up to our meetings, you'll see a budget amendment on there because we've had to change the budget to add to one and remove it from another.
Oh, yeah, we were always doing that.
It'll come up.
Something tears up, you got to fix it. Just
Anyway,
And I would say last year the only thing the employees got was a small Christmas bonus. There was no raise last year, and the Christmas bonus is a way to show appreciation for the hard work, but it's not a continuing expense throughout the years in perpetuity. That's what it is.
So it's not factored in like in their salary.
It's not factored in their salary, so it would not affect any annual pay raise. It would just be a one-time. We're in a good place financially. You did a good job, and I mean, if anybody's riding around to see what's going on with the town with some of the beautification projects, I mean, that's not just one group of guys doing that. I mean, that's different departments working really hard to make our town look better.
okay, Mr. Stewart, do I have that as a motion, 200 for full-time and 100 for part-time as Christmas bonus?
Absolutely.
All right, need a second.
I'll second the motion.
I have a second from Mr. Martin. Is there any further discussion on it? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise.
Opposed?
Okay. Be 4-1. Thank you. Moving along to other business now, it's time for the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to begin by congratulating our newly elected council members, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Moore, Mr. Sellers, and of course, our mayor. Certainly looking forward to working with all of you, and as I've said before, I certainly appreciate your families for sharing your family members with the city. We really appreciate having them, appreciate the sacrifices that you make to allow us to have them not only on the second Tuesday, but other times throughout the year. So, gentlemen, congratulations, and again, thank you to all of your families for being here tonight, and thank you for loaning them to us. I want to announce Old Fashioned Christmas is going to be Friday night. I think Miss Bernice is here tonight. Miss Bernice and I have been working on getting Old Fashioned Christmas ready for Hamlet Avenue. That's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30. We're watching the weather, but we are hoping for the best. We are going to have carriage rides, hot chocolate, a lot of exciting and fun things going on down on Hamlet Avenue. So we certainly invite everyone in the public to be there with us on Friday night from 5:30 to 8:30 on Hamlet Avenue. I also want to bring mention to a delay in residential garbage pickup. As Christmas and New Year's are approaching, there is going to be slight delays with picking up garbage. If you typically get your garbage picked up on Tuesday, that's going to be Christmas Eve this year. The landfill will be closed and we will be closed, so we are going to be picking up that garbage on Thursday. If you typically get your garbage picked up on Wednesday, which will be Christmas Day this year, we're going to also attempt to do double duty and pick up everything on Thursday after Christmas. And then if you typically get your garbage picked up on Thursday, we are going to shoot for Friday to get everyone. So if you will leave it out, we will get to it best we can and as quick as we can. We certainly appreciate your patience. And then New Year's is going to follow a similar pattern. On New Year's Day, that'll be a Wednesday. If you typically get your garbage picked up on a Wednesday, you will get it picked up on Thursday. And if you typically get it picked up on Thursday, we're going to aim to get everybody Friday. So appreciate your patience. City Hall is going to be closed December 24th, 25th, 26th, and New Year's Day. Those are the only formal matters I have for council and the public tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Friday night, that's rain or shine.
Well, the last 2 years we've had to cancel because of the rain, so we're going to watch it and hope for the best. We may have to make some.
Yeah, let's have it.
Anyone got anything for the manager tonight? Question? Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, the office will open back up Friday.
It will.
The week of Christmas. Okay.
It will. It will.
You gonna put all that on the website?
It will. Yep. We'll put it certainly on the Facebook page and share it best that we can to get the word out. It was on the water bills this month, so we're trying to get out the best we can.
At this time, we'll move along to comments from council, and we'll start with Mr. Martin.
Well, I'd like to welcome the new council members and congratulate the mayor for serving another term. Obviously, we won't meet again until after Christmas and New Year's, so I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. That's all.
Okay. Mr. Sellers?
I'd like to thank the voters of Hamlet for voting me to represent them, and I promise and make a pledge to them that if any concerns they have or any complaints, please sure get in touch with me, and we'll see about what we can do to resolve them. And I thank them very much for the opportunity to serve this great city of Hamlet. And I wish everyone a happy and a joyous New Year. Thank you.
Mr. Moore?
Well, like Oscar, I'd like to say thank you to the voters for the opportunity to come down here and serve the citizens. And even though I didn't get to keep my nameplate, I'm still going to be down here serving the citizens of Hamlet. That's by far my drive is to do that, because we're here to represent you. Feel like Oscar does. If you have things you need to discuss or you need to call about something, I'm more than glad to hear from you. And I hope we can have a productive and good year for the city. Sounds like we're headed in a good direction, particularly financially. It's good, the report we got tonight from Ken. It's good to know that financially we're in this good shape. I heard some things, and we'll be discussing some of those from some of the voters when I was out going around talking to people. Some that I thought were good ideas, but the things we'll all have to get together as a group and talk about and see how we can put those items into the city business. But I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season and look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Stewart?
I say it all the time, broken record, love to see all the faces here at the city council meeting. Of course, we see a lot of faces, quite a few people got sworn in tonight, and we know we got a lot of faces because of that. But I said every meeting, please, 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 we do this for the citizens of Hamlet, North Carolina. So please come to the meetings. Please let your voice be heard. Please let us know what your feelings are, what your emotions are in the city of Hamlet. So please continue to do that. I'll say to Mr. Sellers and Mr. Moore, it is a big, big deal to become a public servant. So thank you, gentlemen, for stepping up, for running, and thank the citizens for voting and voting this council in. And we're going to do, hopefully we will become a unit, and we will do every possible thing that we can do, everything for the citizens of Hamlet. Thank the city manager, all the work you do, the city clerk, Jill, thank you for all the work you've done with Ken with that audit. You know, you all make things so easy for us. Just a couple of highlights. You know, you all know I love that senior center. They have a holiday luncheon on the 20th, so join them. I know they would be happy to have you. I think that's on Friday the 20th. And then the last thing, they also have a free Kwanzaa celebration on the 30th at the senior center as well. So please, you know, look at the calendars on the website and please join us for these things. We do these things for the citizens, and we love to see the people come. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Mr. McQueen?
Just a couple quick things. While the staff is looking into the Christmas Hammond Avenue, I would love it if Miss Bernice Owens was included in some of those discussions as well, if she would be willing to do that. She's certainly done far more than anyone else in that area of town, and I personally would like to see her have some input on that as well. And where do we stand with the training for the officers and the dog situation? Have we got any? Has that been lined up yet, or still in the process? Okay, that's something I know you're working hard to get that done. They got to get trained before they can do it, but that's something that we definitely want to keep going and moving forward. Just like to welcome everybody to the board. Everybody said it. It's not easy. It's not. It's sometimes not fun, but it's definitely fulfilling and worthwhile. And you will, believe it or not, there will be people calling you, talking to you a lot. I think we've got some good things in place, and there's always room to improve with what we're doing. Look forward to see what the future has for us in that respect. Would just like to wish everyone, especially the employees, the citizens of the town, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just everyone, please be as safe as you can possibly be.
You know, I agree with you. I think Ms. Bernice would be an excellent advisor on that. But there are also other people, and have it open to all the people and residents and business owners of Hamlet Avenue. See, they may have some input and some good ideas on it too, and have it open to all the people.
That may be that's a great idea, and I mean, you may get some good help, may get some good ideas, but moving forward, I think that's a excellent project for the city to work on.
Very good, thank you. Well, we've come to the end of another year. We're into December of 2019. It's really been a good year for the city of Hamlet. We've managed to hold the budget this year, and it's just worked great. We've got a lot of things to look at. One of the big things that we're going to have to look at is expanding the sewer plant to 2 million gallons. The way we are right now, we cannot take any other industry into the city limits of Hamlet or around the area where they need sewer, because we can't furnish it for them. And we're bumping up on 1 million gallons a day right now, especially when it rains. So this is one of the things that we're looking at. We're going to have to make some plans. The engineering job has already been done, and we're going to look at some grants. I have to say thank you to the manager. He has gotten several grants to do work down at the City Lake, and I hope you've had an opportunity to go look at it. It's been kind of a passionate thing for our city employees to get that place looking better down there. So we're glad to have that happen. I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the city of Hamlet. welcome Mr. Moore and Mr. Sellers to our board. I think we're going to work extremely well and get a lot of good things done. I like the idea of Ms. Owens being involved in the decorations over there. And I'd really like to hear from some of the people that live over there on Hamlet Avenue that really have some nice places and see what their thoughts are. So we'll work on that. And we would like to keep Mr. Moore's family in our thoughts and prayers. His mother-in-law is quite ill, and please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And that is all I have tonight, I believe. That's it. So, council, at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Thank you so much.
How do you turn this bowl off?